Straight ahead on 12 News Weekend, taking distance running to the extreme. How far a Maple Grove woman went to support a cause close to her heart. Then,
that is my senior year varsity football jersey.
Back to where he began. The new Park Center principal returns to familiar hallways with an important goal. But first, a local building boom.
Our demographic that we're building for is more of the move-up families.
And these aren't your average homes. 12 News Weekend starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us this weekend. Once slowed by the recession, new home construction has returned in a big way in one local suburb.
$500,000 homes are becoming the norm in Northwest Plymouth rather than the exception. Alexandra Renslow gives us a glimpse at the city's upscale building boom.
Beyond the exterior, if you want a clue you're looking at an expensive home,
We're in the sport court.
an indoor sport court would be it.
Obviously with the indoor sport courts and our winters nowadays, the families like to incorporate the indoor sport courts now.
For builder Jeremy Skoquist of NIH Homes, this 5,400 square foot home sold recently for $875,000 is just one of 15 upscale homes he's built in Plymouth this year and sold.
A lot of them are the executive people. Typically both of them work.
Upscale builders are finding fertile ground in Northwest Plymouth where a dozen different developments offer new homes for well beyond the $500,000 mark. NIH Homes has built at least 30 in Plymouth in the last 3 years.
With the Plymouth location and with the school district and everything that it has to offer here, it's been great for our company, obviously since from the 2011 and on.
Every development that's happening in Plymouth has homes that are over $500,000. Are they all over $500,000? Probably not, but certainly the lion's share is.
Plymouth Community Development Director Steve Jutton says several factors contribute to the city's building boom, including available land and the Wayzata School District.
I don't think it's a surprise. I mean, you look at Plymouth, you look at the quality school districts, you look at the quality jobs. We got a lot of businesses in Plymouth that have some higher end income.
Jeremy Skoquist's company is finishing a $1.2 million home that hasn't sold yet, but he's not worried.
The activity we've seen on it, we've had good feedback. Like I said, we had one that was 1.375 that we sold last spring.
He expects to be building big in Plymouth for years to come.
Alexandra Renslow reporting there. Plymouth is averaging about 250 new homes a year. At that rate, city officials estimate they have enough land to develop for the next 8 to 10 years.
A flurry of building proposals has Golden Valley rethinking future subdivisions of single-family homes. Residents have expressed concern about projects changing the character of their neighborhoods. It's one reason why the Golden Valley City Council will take a closer look at its land use regulations.
And we've heard from a number of residents. They are concerned when you look at areas like where we're at, we have a diversity of housing stock, and we just need to be prepared not only for the present day, but also for the future. What do we want our housing stock to look like?
Golden Valley will consider a 6-month moratorium on new subdivisions at its meeting on Tuesday.
Brooklyn Park continues their program to get foreclosed homes back on the market. 2 homes on Noble Avenue are the latest ones to be repaired, remodeled, and put back up for sale. Abandoned homes like these have extensive damage, so the city steps in to get them back owner-occupied. This week, Hennepin County approved $600,000 of federal money for Brooklyn Park to continue their program.
I mean, Brooklyn Park was really hit by the foreclosure crisis, and so it's really important that we continue to put resources towards this work and really stabilizing our neighborhoods.
Since 2009, the city has spent more than $8 million turning around 230 homes. A bank robbery suspect is in custody after a long police chase that started in Maple Grove. Police say a man held up the Americana Community Bank Friday afternoon. The chase involved multiple agencies. Authorities arrested the robber in Minneapolis. Right now, he's in the Hennepin County Jail. Officials also say he was involved in an armed robbery over in Wright County. A major change this year for high school students.
To graduate, all students are required to take the ACT. The Osseo School District is busy preparing students for the college entrance exam. And this spring, juniors and seniors in the district will be able to take the ACT for free, which should help open doors of opportunity.
We need a college education to better ourselves in this world. Doesn't have to be a 4-year education, but some kind of education past high school. And I think by taking the ACT, you get that confidence and say, I can do this.
The test can cost up to $54. Students on the free or reduced price lunch program can get a voucher to take the exam free twice a year. Anticipating future development, Brooklyn Park is planning a new interchange in the northern part of the city. Highway engineers are studying designs for a new interchange at Highway 169 and 101st Avenue. 3 different designs are proposed. The public is encouraged to give input.
In our Week in Review, a federal judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed against Brooklyn Center Police. The mother of Edmund Fair claimed police used excessive force when her son was shot and killed in August of 2013. At the time, Fair was wanted for kidnapping. The mother claimed Fair was shot while handcuffed. An attorney for the officer says dash cam video proved otherwise, and that Fair tried to steal an officer's gun. A Brooklyn Park community church that has spent years looking for a permanent home may now finally get one. Ebenezer Community Church has plans to build at 93rd Avenue and West Broadway. It has a large Liberian following and has grown to more than 400 members. The Ebenezer congregation currently meets at Park Center High School. And it's not every day a Hollywood star visits your school, but that's what happened when Academy Award-winning actor Jamie Foxx stopped by Northport Elementary and Brooklyn Center this week. Foxx is working to promote the arts in schools. Students at Northport had no idea he was visiting. Northport is part of an arts program designed to narrow the achievement gap. It's an exciting time for sure.
Yeah, it was cool.
Very much. Now to a run that's hard for many of us to imagine.
A Maple Grove woman recently gave new meaning to distance running. As Sonia Goins explains, it was a unique way to celebrate a 44th birthday and serve a special purpose.
I got heels on today. Look at those babies.
It's a wonder Pam Baker can stand up, let alone wear high heels today.
I'm a little sore. I don't like to sit down today.
On Monday, Pam celebrated her 44th birthday by running 44 miles around Maple Grove.
Started at my home, ran around a couple lakes, Fish Lake, Cedar Lake.
She wasn't doing this to draw attention to herself.
I thought it would be really awesome just to recognize our veterans.
Pam is a veteran too, having served 8 years in the Navy. Her goal was to shine the spotlight on Minnesota soldiers who were killed while serving in Iraq or Afghanistan.
We haven't heard about them, we don't talk about them, and people need to know that they've given up their freedom.
She called her project Freedom Remembered in honoring the fallen.
I have a lot of honor for our country, and I think that as a community, as a state, as a nation, that it's just, it's our duty to give honor and respect to these people who are sacrificing everything for us.
Each mile of her trek, she paid tribute to the soldiers.
I prayed every mile. My objective was to lift them in prayer.
Pam had several friends who ran some of the way with her.
My faith was 100% part of this project.
Pam's faith and her friends helped her to continue the course when she didn't think she could go any farther.
At mile 30, I thought I was done.
But Pam did finish, giving a birthday gift not only to herself, but to others as well.
The gift I gave myself was an opportunity to challenge my body in a way that was lifting others up. I'm just so blessed.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Well, Baker is also the cross-country and track coach at St. Vincent de Paul School in Brooklyn Park. Well, coming up on 12 News Weekend, the new leader at Park Center returns to familiar territory, what he says is a top priority.
And then later in sports, we remember longtime teacher and coach Ken Staples, who passed away last week.
But first, it will warm up, we promise. We could reach the 70s again by midweek.
A big week this week for Cooper High School. Students and teachers, past and present, celebrated the school's 50th anniversary. Alumni brought cakes and cookies decorated in school colors to mark the occasion.
This very day we started. When I was a senior, we were the first graduating class. We split from Robbinsdale, so we had to leave our friends and come to a new school, but we made it a real momentous time. And so we wanted these kids to feel that same enthusiasm that we felt 50 years ago.
Other planned events include tours of the old district elementary schools and an all-class party on September 26, 2015. Mark your calendars at the Medina Entertainment Center. Over at Park Center High School, there's a new face monitoring the halls.
While he may be new to students, Park Center's new principal is actually returning to his roots. Here's Alexandra Renslow.
Hey, let's go.
He may be the new principal at Park Center High School,
How's your day? Huh?
But John Gronke is familiar to many students.
What's going on, Gabe? How are you?
His most recent post was principal at Northview Junior High, a feeder school to Park Center. And Gronke is no stranger to the halls of the green and gold.
And I wanted to serve in another capacity at another level, and being able to come back to the school you graduated from is just, icing on the cake.
As a graduate of Park Center, class of 1986, Gronke's pirate pride still shines and is even showcased in his new office.
That is my senior year varsity football jersey from the 1985-86 school year, which Park Center was the first and the last team so far to make it to the state tournament in football.
That was 28 years ago, and much has changed in the halls of Park Center.
It's a lot to have to draw all those little things, but you can get some of them.
Today, the 1,400 students at Park Center come from more than 50 different countries around the world.
You know where you're going? Yeah. All right, be there on time. Let's go. Let's go.
For Gronke, the job ahead is clear. Goal number one is to make sure every student graduates. Right now, the school's graduation rate is around 80%.
And I'm committed and being relentless and doing whatever I can and helping our staff and helping our students make sure that every single kid graduates from school. And not just graduates, realize, what do I want to do after college?
It's an effort requiring work from everyone, but it's a challenge this principal believes his alma mater can accomplish.
And just stay tuned, because we're going to do our best to make sure all our kids graduate.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's come full circle.
There you go. Well, coming up, how a Brooklyn Park man turned pennies into priceless art.
But first, the Lake Conference volleyball season starts with a bang as Hopkins and Wayzata go head-to-head. That's coming up in sports with Jason Malillo.
Welcome back. Jason Malillo joins us now in sports, and a lot of people talk about football this time of year, but we can't forget about volleyball.
Yeah, you can't. We have a lot of good volleyball teams in the area, and the conference seasons are starting now, and that's when it always gets a little more serious for these teams, I think. The Lake Conference is always chock full of good volleyball teams, and two of those squads hooked up on Tuesday night. Wayzata and Hopkins facing each other to open the conference season. Samantha Seliger-Swenson sets to Ellie Mag, who will put away the hit for the kill for Hopkins. They score the first 4 points on the night. Wayzata, though, comes back. Kate Berg with the attack off the block for a point, pulls the Trojans within 16-13. The Royals, though, finish strong. Jasmine Martin with the ace serve to close out a 25-20 first set win. Wayzata led for much of the second set. Berg's block will help the Trojans go up 22-18 as they try to even the match at 1-all. But the Royals score 7 of the next 8 points, including a big block by Martin to win it, 25-23 for the Royals. Third set, Sabrina Luer attacks in the middle for Wayzata, and it's a close one again. Hopkins, though, sweeps the match. They take it 18, 23, and 20 to win this Lake Conference opener. Well, the Maple Grove volleyball team is playing well early in the season as they get into the heart of the Northwest Suburban Conference schedule. Maple Grove enters this next week with a 5-1 record following 3-set sweeps over Blaine and Park Center. The one loss was 3-0 to Osseo, a team that took third in the state last season. All of the sets were very close, though, and that showed the Crimson they're not far behind the top teams.
Yeah, because it kind of gave us like an idea of where we're at, because they're supposed to be like our toughest competition in our conference, and if we were that close to beating them, like we should be able to take on everyone else in our conference, or at least compete with them.
We always look to that rivalry because it's so huge that with what we were able to accomplish, and even Bill came over afterwards and gave us a lot of good credit to where we were 3 weeks into the season instead of where we would typically be, we'd want to be at the end of the season. So a lot of good positive things from that match.
With 6 returning regulars and the rest newcomers to varsity action, the team has come together pretty quickly. The Crimson believe that this could be a pretty strong team by season's end.
I think this is a really good start for us. We're mostly a new team. About half of us haven't been on varsity before, so it's been a really successful start, and I'm excited to see where we go. I'm really hoping to upper part of our conference so we can get a good seed for sections so we can go far, so that's the goal.
After taking on Coode Rapids Tuesday night, Maple Grove hosts Champlin Park this coming Thursday. In Class A soccer this past week, the Breck boys had a good game in a matchup of top 10 teams. The Mustangs at home taking on Orono. On the corner kick from Garrett Opperman, Jack Dickinson with the header for the Mustangs, and they take the lead midway through the first half. They strike again in slightly different fashion. The corner kick will be knocked away, but it goes right onto the foot of Eric Horstman, and he buries the low shot to make it 2-rep Mustangs at halftime. Second half, Peter Kiesel will get control, and he'll surprise the keeper with a quick release rocket shot for the goal. The Mustangs lead it 3-0. If you play Breck later in the season, some free advice: don't give the Mustangs corner kicks. They score again here. Dickinson with another header. They win a big one. 4-0 is the final. Well, longtime Robbinsdale School District teacher and coach Ken Staples died this past week. The 87-year-old passed away Monday. Ken taught social studies to thousands of students at Robbinsdale and Cooper high schools. But he was a coach, too, and a very good one. He coached baseball at Robbinsdale, Cooper, and Wayzata high schools. Staples also coached hockey for many years in District 281. He was inducted into the State Hockey Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2006 and was a member of several Halls of Fame. Staples also worked 14 years for the Minnesota Twins Clinics, teaching baseball to youth across the state. Ken graduated from St. Paul Humboldt High School and is survived by his wife Martha and 4 children. His funeral was Friday, and all memorials will be given to local community sports programs supporting youth in baseball and hockey. So obviously our condolences go out to his family.
Not that many people can claim to be in several halls of fame, but so he was a pretty good athlete and coach.
And not many people dedicate that many years, their
That's
whole
right.
life to kids, to teaching and coaching. So a good man.
All right, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Still ahead, a story that would make Abe Lincoln proud.
A Brooklyn Park man covers plenty of ground with lots of loose change. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, finally, pennies turn into a priceless work of art.
6 months ago, we profiled John Ebert and his very ambitious map project. He sorted pennies, sorted into 4 shades, and stacked them 6 high to resemble the United States. We caught up with John this week as he completed the project. He used a 150-pound sheet of glass to keep all those pennies in place.
850 hours. Was it worth it? Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I hope it ends up somewhere where lots of people can see it.
There are just over 24,000 pennies in the design, which means it weighs about 550 pounds. The smallest state, Rhode Island, has just 12 pennies. The largest, of course, Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. It has more than 2,000. Ebert plans to display the piece at the Art Attack exhibit in Northeast Minneapolis in November. And I would hate to be the one carrying that around and accidentally bump into something.
I was going to say, would you ever let your husband take up that hobby? Put that in your house?
As long as we didn't have to hang it on the wall. Can you imagine how heavy that is? It's a big piece of art.
That's all the news for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you next week.